Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from the YouTube channel Red Essence, and welcome back to my channel. I really do appreciate your constant viewership and support. It really means a lot to me. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at a brand new release by the company Imaginary Authors, and this one is called Sundrunk, so stay tuned. This fragrance was released in 2018. The perfumer is, of course, the founder of the company, the in-house perfumer, Josh Meyer. And Imaginary Authors, for those of you who don't know, is a company that is based off of imaginary authors. So Josh Meyer invents the author and the novel that author would have penned, and each one of these boxes actually looks like a book. So you have the spine of the book on the side, and then you have a little graphic on the front with the top players in terms of the note breakdown on the back, and it also has what would be a quote from the imaginary novel. So I think that that's really cool, and the same can be said about the bottle. So it has the name on the spine, and then it also has a bit of the note breakdown on the back. Now, of course, these aren't all of the notes because the perfumer never discloses every single ingredient that goes into the blend, but awesome. Really cool graphic as well. Now, this one features notes of neroli, rhubarb, honeysuckle, rosewater, orange zest, and first kiss. And that first kiss note, so there is an imaginary note that accompanies every single release from the house. I know it might be a little bit too high to see, but here are other Imaginary Authors fragrances that I have behind me, and each one of them features an imaginary note. And it is a note that if you really close your eyes and you zone in on it and you really focus in, you can sort of see where the perfumer was coming from. So I really like how their perfumes are evocative of different things or emotions or what have you. So this one is First Kiss, and I suppose the brightness of the orange zest and the neroli and the tartness of the rhubarb kind of gives you that love at first sight, fireworks in the sky, first kiss kind of a vibe. And I think it's really cool. Some of the other imaginary notes that we've gotten in the past are like crushed ice, burnt match, Baltic Sea mist, so on and so forth. And so this one is a pretty unique one because it's not very tangible, right? Like a first kiss. So it's something more of a metaphorical sense. So I'm really excited to tell you what I think of the smell. Let's start things off with the presentation. So the presentation for this is really nice. It just says Sundrunk on the top left-hand corner here with the fish on it. I think that's awesome. And it also comes with a bookmark that has the name at the top. The imaginary author for this one is Amy Obispo, and they encourage you to spray the fragrance at the very bottom. And of course, you can also use this as a real bookmark, right? You open it up just like this. It has a silhouette of the bottle on the inside. The really cool thing about this presentation, and a lot of people probably have purchased fragrances from Imaginary Authors and they didn't know this, but on the side of the box it says, "Be vigilantly curious. Treasures are all around us." And it's actually a flap. And if you open it, he usually throws in a sample in here, which I think is really cool. And the sample that came in mine is Falling into the Sea, which is another awesome Imaginary Authors fragrance for the summer. As far as the bottle is concerned, really cool design to it. It says Sundrunk on the side, kind of like the spine of a book, and then it has the notes listed on the back. The cap is a very snug fit. It does not click into place, but you can pick it up from the cap. And the distribution on the atomizer is fantastic. Let's go ahead and continue with the smell. Now, as soon as this fragrance opens up, you're definitely going to get that orange zest. It's very bright and airy and citrusy. I don't get a lot of neroli, so to speak. Neroli usually evokes fragrances like 4711, Neroli Canvas by Al Haramain, Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford. That's not what I get. So it's not like a Neroli Petitgrain Orange Blossom combination that we might be used to. This one has some depth. It has some personality. It's a little bit sweet on account of the honeysuckle, I think, although it can also give off a floral vibe. But you also have the rhubarb in here, which really gives this slightly green tart quality to the fragrance that I really enjoy. So it's orangey, it's zesty, it's a little sweet, perhaps a little bit floral, but in no way feminine. All of their fragrances are 100% unisex, and truth be told, I think all fragrances are 100% unisex, but it all depends on what they evoke for you and how they make you feel and what sort of preconceived notions you have going going into it. Now this one, I think it's very well done, and I do think it's a great scent for the summer. I like how it doesn't stay totally citrusy, whereas a lot of other releases have like this sort of Cologne and Broxton citrusy kind of a vibe, and he does have fragrances with Cologne in them. This one might actually have Cologne in it as well, but I like how it kind of takes it in a different direction where it's not totally citrusy or totally aquatic. And I think Josh Meyer, for the most part, releases fragrances that really speak to me, and they're really awesome scents that I can see myself wearing in that particular occasion. I'll give you an example. Cape Heartache is one of my favorites to wear right around the winter time because it reminds me of a Christmas tree. It has this fir note, it has a balsamic approach, it also has a little bit of strawberry just to kind of make it a little bit more accommodating and approachable and versatile. And there are some that I'm not that crazy about, like An Air of Despair, and I think A City on Fire is one that I would have a really hard time recommending. But for the most part, they make fragrances that people can really latch on to, people really gravitate towards, and something about this scent has a very likable aura about it. And I think it's because it's citrusy, and that makes it inviting, and I don't know too many people that have an aversion to the smell of citrus, so I'll just leave it at that. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall rating. Now, first up, in assessing this fragrance, I took a look at the uniqueness and the overall smell, and I do find this to be a unique scent because, like I said, it utilizes some citrus notes, but it's not totally citrusy. So it's not like bergamot, lemon, and grapefruit or whatever. That it has the honeysuckle in there, it has the rose water in there, it has all of these other unique notes and accords that really take it in a unique direction all of its own. Now, as far as the overall smell, I think it's incredibly pleasant, incredibly approachable, and like I said, despite the fact that there is a little bit of a floral vibe in there, I don't find this one to be overly floral or feminine in any way, so I think it is going to be a very likable release, and when you get your nose on it for yourself, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. In terms of longevity, could use a little bit of work. I think longevity was about 4 or 5 hours, which for a citrus-based scent and for a scent that is geared towards the summertime, I really wasn't expecting anything more from it, and I think 4 to 5 hours is right in that wheelhouse that I was expecting. In terms of the versatility, I think the versatility on this one is actually really good. Aside from the fact that I would wear it exclusively in the hotter weather, I do think it's a pretty versatile scent. You know, it's funny because whenever I wear something with citrus in it, I usually consider it to be very casual, but there's a certain refined quality that I get from scents like Terre d'Hermès, which has a lot of citrus in it, that I also think is really good for like dressed up scenarios. So I think this one in terms of occasions is pretty versatile. And then of course it's unisex, so anybody can wear it. It has a youthful appeal on account of the citrus, but it also has a refined quality where it doesn't smell like every other cologne out there. So I think somebody perhaps a little bit older with slightly better judgment, can we put it like that, would probably end up wearing this one as well. So it's not just like a teenager or whatever. And then last up we have the presentation. I think the concept is pretty cool. Every single time that I've had these sent to me, comes in pretty reliable construction, never anything damaged in transit or anything. So the presentation is really cool, and it also comes with a bookmark that you can spray the fragrance on, and it also has some of the other information that I relayed from the back here. So final verdict on this one is I really like this one. I enjoy it. Now, I have to get used to it. It has to open up on me. So I really love Cape Heartache, and I would consider that to be one of my favorites from the line. I definitely like this one more than Every Storm a Serenade. I like this one more than An Air of Despair. I don't know if I like this one more than Slow Explosions or St. Julep. St. Julep is another fantastic scent for the summertime. So if you're into that like sweet, it kind of has like a Baccarat Rouge vibe about it. Anyway, I digress. So I think it's a wonderful release. Josh Meyer, I think you did a fantastic job once more. Thank you for everything that you do for the fragrance community and for the perfume industry. Really appreciate it. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was my review of the newest Imaginary Authors release, Sundrunk. If you own or have tried this fragrance, please let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe for future videos. This way, whenever I do put out new content, it will get delivered straight to your feed. You never need to worry about missing any of my future uploads. Thanks again for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.